Hi guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my January book haul. Now, as you can see, from a lot better than December's one because I'm COVID free. Well, it's still going around schools, but we're going to forget about that. So I'm all healthy, back to normal, getting there. Still a bit sniffly, still getting my energy levels up again, but a load better this month. Yet again, I'm filming before the end of the month. I'm filming on the 27th. So any books that I get now will have to go on to next month. But we're going to have to, I'll be honest with you, 4 books are carrying over from December to January. So I'm kind of allowing myself that little bit of leeway if I need to get the odd one. But I'm not going to charity shops over the weekend. I'm avoiding them like the plague. I told you guys I am working at getting my numbers down. And I've done better this month. I've only bought 18 books. And I've been gifted 4. Now, what did I do at last month? Last month, I think I got more than that. Last month, oh no, I've equalled last month. Last month I only bought 18. So that's really good. I was gifted 10 last month, but it was Christmas, so that was understandable. I have been gifted 4 this month, so I'll show you them first. And I've unhauled quite a few unread, so I think I've unhauled an extra one yesterday, so I think I've unhauled 5 unread. So this month, my numbers will definitely go down. My TBR will go down. Yes! You would have already heard about that in the previous video, my January wrap-up, because I do things in weird orders. I record them in different orders, because my wrap-ups have to be kind of recorded bang on, whereas my book hauls I can kind of do a little bit earlier. Just my planning. Anyway, enough rambling, otherwise this is going to be a very long video. First book that I was gifted was for a read-along, so it's an ad product. It's for the Little Wing Readathon. You would have heard about this in my wrap-up part 2. I'm starting this today, actually, and I'm bloody excited. Do love tandem readathons. I tend to get really good books off there, and I really love that. And that's got 3 timelines, so hope. And then I got 2 books from the lovely Danny from Danny's Book World of Books. I'll link her channel down below. She was saying she was giving away some page Toon books, and you guys know that I'm doing a buddy read along of all of her page Toon books this year. So I asked for The Longest Holiday, which is about Laura. Now I don't know. I'm still trying to wonder. I wish page Toon would watch this. If Laura in this book is Laura from Chasing Daisy, I can't remember if that's connected. But there are some other characters that connect in this book, and Laura has been married to the man of her dreams for 7 months. But a week before the wedding, Matthew makes a terrible mistake. Escaping the humiliation that is now her marriage, Laura is whisked off to Florida Key West by her best friend Marty. Now I know Marty's in other books. And a carefree holiday full of cocktails and fun is just what the doctor orders. And then she meets the Cuban Leo. God, I remember loving this book when I first read it, so I can't wait to read this. Then I also got The Sun in Her Eyes, which is, I think this one's a stand. I don't think there's any connecting characters on this one. Amber was free when a car crash stole her mother's life. She doesn't remember the accident, but a stranger at the scene has been unable to forget. Now, almost 30 years later, she's trying to track Amber down. I remember loving this, and I can't wait to read this. This is one I'm really looking forward to. Then the lovely Alice from Alice's Giant Bookshelf has sent me this. We're doing a book swap. I've got her book that I'm sending to her today. P is for Paris, where it all began. J is for jealousy, where it all came undone. But the most important letter is F. F is for forgiveness, the hardest of all. It's by Debbie Johnson, who writes books that I know I love. Sisters, it's about 2 sisters, Poppy and Rose. Sisters, what more could I love? Loving excited about that. So that's my 4 gifts. Now to the books I bought. Now I like to sort of tell you where I bought them. I'm going to be honest. I'm not publicised. I'm not sort of promoted or given money for doing any of this. Although I am going to be starting working at Baz Books as a volunteer in February. That kind of could make February's number go a little bit higher. February's number may well be higher, by the way, because I'm going book shopping with Gemma in the middle of the month from Read a Book Gem. And you know that's dangerous. So I'm literally I think I'm going to do my book shopping with Gemma and then probably try and avoid the charity shops other than the ones I'm working in as much as I can. So I don't overdo it. I'm not going to, although I am already ordering 2 books from Amazon at the start of the month, I'm going to be honest. I let myself have an Amazon treat a month, and there is a new release that's coming out, which I'll be reading in March, and I want to get a book by Bridget Kemmerer, so they're going to be ordered like payday tomorrow. So anyway, enough rambling. So the first 2 books I got from ABE Books. One of them was again one I needed for the page 2 read along. I will be reading this in February, so you would have seen this in February's TBR. This is one I'm super excited about because it's her only sequel, and it's the sequel to Johnny Be Good, and I can't really tell you much more about that. So unless you've read Johnny Be Good, you can't read this. But it's good because it's about Meg, and she's with Christian now, and it's really exciting. Can't wait to read that. Then I bought the second one. I bought Firefly. I bought something to do with Firefly Lane, but the sequel to this before I bought Firefly Lane. So I bought Firefly Lane now, and it's set in the 1970s. I'm going to buddy read it with Nikki from Red Dot Reads at some point, I believe. It's a story you'll never forget, and one you'll want to pass on to your best friend. The turbulent summer of 1974, Kate Malarkey is accepted a place in the bottom of the social food train at school. Then, to her amazement, the coolest girl in the world moves into the street and wants to be her best friend. Tully Hart seems to have it all: beauty, brains and ambition. On the surface, they're as opposite as 2 people can be, but they made a pact to be best friends forever. And by summer's end, they'll become Tully and Kate inseparable. And then it's for 30 years. Tully and Kate buoy each other through life, and then something happens, I think. About friendships, what more do I want? Can't blooming wait for that. And I bought this book because it's been recommended by a few booktubers, and I thought on Amazon I just saw this for quite cheap. Apparently it's one that's going to break my heart because it's very emotional. Sometimes the one you love is the one person who hurts you the most. Infidelity, but I hope it's good. It's supposed to be a very good book. Lots of people have raved about it, and I don't need to know it's many more. I've not read a Colleen Hoover book, but I've heard lots of positive things about her book and about this book, so hopefully I like it. And then one book, as you know, that I bought myself because I've been promising myself it all last year, only to find out it's now in paperback, isn't it? And I paid full price for it in hardback. Bit of a nutcase, aren't I? But the hardback edition is gorgeous. You guys know I love The Foundling and The Familiars. It was released last year, and I should have got it straight away, but I was so scared because I loved The Familiars more than anything. It was one of my favourite books, but I didn't like The Foundling quite as much. So I'm hoping this is going to be great. It's the most gorgeous copy. Again, hardbacks are just stunning. I will say, sometimes it is worth paying for the hardback. Look at that spine. How stunning is that? This is set, I believe, in the start of 1904 in West Yorkshire. And I love Yorkshire. I love that era, that time era. And it's got a nursery in it. It's about a family. I don't need to know any more of that. Everyone's heard about this book. If you want to find out more, let me know. But it was all over BookTube last year. I finally got a copy of it. So those are my 2 Amazon orders. Now, I'm so scared because this massive pile is from the charity shops. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 books from the charity shop. So the first one is one that was inspired by the lovely Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery, The Trumpet Major. She loves Thomas Hardy's work, so I'm kind of collecting his work so I can read them over this year and next year, as many of them as I can. And I don't think she liked this one as much. I don't know too much about it. He presents the human qualities of desire and conflicting loyalties, which saw the constantly undermining such attempts. The courtship of Anne Garland by her 3 suitors, the trumpet major, John Loveday, his sailor brother Bob, and Fetus Durimian of the Yeoman Cavalry, and it takes their place in the larger-than-life backdrop of England's conflict with Napoleon. Hoping this is going to be good, but it's, Hardy. I thought, because Tolstoy, I was a bit funny on War and Peace, but this is short story, so I'm intrigued. It's a Penguin's Classic edition, which you guys know I love. This is 4 short stories by Tolstoy. I'm wondering how they're going to compare to the long one that is War and Peace. Don't know, but I found it for £1. Had to get it. If any of you have read this one, this is the Kreutzer Sonata and Other Stories. So let me know if you like the sound of that one. Then I did love Kane. I went for the covers. It's Rose. I love roses. Garden. Desperate Girl, A Hidden Wife. The Secret They Will No Longer Keep. Set in 1895, another era that I tend to read from. Olive Westernan lives in a privileged, if not rather lonely life in her family's Grand Hampstead home, but she has a radical plans for the future of her family. plans that will shock high society world she inhabits. For a new neighbour, Otiel French, London has an exciting playground to explore. Her family have recently arrived from Durham under a cloud of scandal that Otti is blissfully unaware of. The only shadow over her days is her mother's mysterious illness, which keeps her to her room. Excited about this one. It does look quite fun. Then, guys know I'm reading the Nightingales series this year. Found this in Thames Valley Hospice for only for £1. It's a Christmas wish. It's somewhere in the series. I don't want to read the back because it's quite far along in the series and I'm only starting it this month, so February. So hoping I like that. Then I bought a book by an author that I've loved some of her works. Some of them haven't always been grasped at me, but this is a Tracy Chevalier, so I had to get it. At the Edge of the Orchard. This is in the inhospitable black swamp of Ohio. The Goodman family are barely scratching out a living. Life there is harsh, tempered only by the apples that they grow for eating and the cider that dulls their pain. Hot-headed Sadie and buttoned-up James are a poor match, and Robert and his sister Martha can only watch helplessly as their parents tear each other apart. Ooh, exciting. What's that? I do like Tracy. And then I bought a book by Isabel Allende because, again, Nikki from Red Dot Reads wrote about her work. This is Daughter of Fortune. I just read The Japanese Lover and enjoyed it, but this is one of her earlier works, and it's set in 1830s Chile, and a lady is eagerly adopted by Miss Rose Summers, who keeps her house for her two brothers, a businessman and a sea captain. Although Rose is determined to turn her into a proper English lady, headstrong Eliza is determinedly charts her own course. Hope I like that. Then this was a contemporary that was all over BookTube last year. It's quite a fun contemporary, in case you missed it, by Lindsay Kelk. I've not actually read any of this author's work, but it does look like a fun contemporary that I need at the moment. I think we all still need some fun books. When Roz comes home after 3 years away, she's determined to pick up her life exactly where she left it. But her friends have moved on, her parents have rekindled their romance, and her bedroom is now a garden shed. All of a sudden, she is swept up by the nostalgia of the way things were, and her phone begins to ping with messages from her old life, including one number she thought she'd erased for good, the man who broke her heart. Looks like a fun one indeed. Then, I swear this was over BookTube last year, I can't remember. This is about, like, the lying face of adults, and about Giovanna's pretty face has changed, and it's turning into the face of an ugly, spiteful adolescence. But is she seeing things as they really are? She must look to find her own true reflection and the life she can claim as her own. 2 years before leaving home, my father said to my mother that I was very ugly. I'm someone that's been called ugly a lot over growing up, and I struggle with that still. I struggle with my confidence still. So I thought that sort of really struck home to me. It looks like a book that it's going to be emotional, I swear, but it looks like it really could do me. It might be one to boost me up a little bit, maybe. Then I picked up another Jojo Moyes book because I do really enjoy this author's work, and this is one of her contemporaries. I thought, and then this is another one that's popped up on my Amazon list to buy, and I don't know why. Liza McCullen will never escape her past, but the unspoilt beaches and tight-knit community of Silver Bay offers a freedom and safety she craves, if not for herself, but then for her younger daughter Hannah. Until Mike Dormer arrives as a guest at her aunt's hotel, and the peace of Silver Bay is shattered. Quite intrigued by this. Don't know why, it really struck out at me. It was one of those books that jumped out at me, and I was like, well, I've got to get it, so I did. The next one is a Lucy Dillon book, which, again, I love her contemporaries. They're really light, really fun. And this it's going home to Longhampton, which is where one of her last books that I read last month was set. So again, she sort of tends to sets them in sort of similar places. But this is Lorna and her dog, and it's about an animal, and it's about love of animals and new friends and old ones, and it just looks like a really fun... Courage is something you paint on like red lipstick, even when you're panicking inside. That's something I can really empathise with, that you put on a face that you're surviving when you're not actually not. So I really like the look of that. Then the next book is one that when I saw it on the shelves of Baz Books, if you would have seen my clip of one of my vlogs, I screamed. I hugged the owner, because the manager of the shop, because I've wanted this book for God knows how long, and I was prepared to pay for it full price on Amazon in hardback. I've just got it for £1 in paperback. Lucy Worsley at home. Lucy Worsley's Jane Austen at home. I've wanted this for Jane Austen July for so many years. It will be read in July. It's got pictures, I believe, in it. It's all about Jane Austen. I've wanted this book for God knows how long, and you all know that. I've wanted this book, so I got it for £1. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, a thriller. I've read one Claire Mackintosh book. I think it was I Let You Go, or I'm not sure. I've read one of them, and this one, I See You. I thought I had it, but I don't, so I thought I'd try this one. When Zoe Walker sees her photo in the classified section of a London newspaper, she is determined to find out why it's there. There is no explanation, just a grainy image, a website address, and a phone number. She takes it home to her family, who are convinced it's someone else that looks like Zoe. But the next day, an advert shows a photo of a different woman, and another day like that. Am I mistaken? Is it mistaken? Is it a mistake? Is it a coincidence? Or is someone keeping track of every move they make? I think I've read I See You. I know I've got I Let You Go, and I can't remember which one, but yeah. That's, my thrillers have been doing smashing this month, so I can't wait in January. So this next one was a bit of a book that Chris was being a bit of a rat bag when we were out to Baz Books one day, and I bought books for the sake of buying them, and I kind of regret this one a little bit. In the Lonely Sea and Then in the Sky, it had an aeroplane on it, which made me think of my dad, because he loved aeroplanes. The sea, I don't know what it was. The cover just looked gorgeous. Didn't realise it was a non-fiction book about a pilot who emigrated, and it's set in 1929. Don't know why I bought it. I'm hoping I like it. This was probably one of my stupid impulse buys that I kind of regret a little bit, but hey-ho, we all do things. And then lastly, a book that I bought. I don't know if this is for me, but my sister Charlie was raving about it. Apparently she said that Simon from Savage Reads had read this, The Swan Song. It's about it's a gorgeous copy. Again, it's another one. Look at the inside, look at the end pages. It's stunning. And this is about, set in the autumn of 1975, after 2 decades of intimate friendships, Truman Capote detonated a literary grenade, forever rupturing the elite circle he worked so hard to infiltrate. Why did he do it, knowing what he stood to lose? Was it to punish them, to make them pay for their manners and their celebrated names? Or did he simply refuse to believe that they could ever stop loving him? This is a bit of a tragic story of a literary icon, but again, it's stunning, so I bought it. A bit of a random, aren't I? So guys, are there any books in this pile that you think I should prioritise? Obviously the page turn ones will be read in the correct month, but is there any books of these I should prioritise and read ASAP? Are there any that you want to buddy read with me? Let me know, because I can put it in my book. And what do you think? Do you think I've done good this month? If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.